始。
Okay, welcome everyone to attend our presentation for the design project of EE3070. And we are group 3 from LO4. So the title for our project is an instant and smart retail system with cloud analysis. So first, let's look at the motivation of our project and how we identify the problem. The first problem we made nowadays is the queuing problem. So for queuing problem, it has become most significant issues faced by all the retail business owners. And no matter it is a supermall or convenience store on the street, it's always hard to prevent the annoying waiting problem. The reason why for this kind of phenomenon is it takes time for the staff to wait for customer payment, and at the same time, the customer they have to they may have some requests and the staff have to deal with that. So our conclusion is the traditional checkout pattern is not applicable at today with larger customer flow and requirement. The second problem we made is the increasing labor charge. According to the US Department of Labor, payroll costs are the biggest or one of the most biggest operating expenses of any company, which it takes more than 10% of the total gross sales. The reason for that is the supermarket or retail store has to hire more staff to meet the need of huge customer flow. However, labor charge become more and more expensive nowadays. So manual labor cost, and considering manual labor cost is much higher than machine, so too much labor cost lead to the decrease of margin revenue. The third problem is the more and more demand for analysis of customer interest. We know that understanding customer is the key to give them a good service, which in return result into higher revenue. So better understanding of customer means better quality of service, which directly lead to more higher revenue. So we can do the customer analysis to price the goods dynamically and monitoring the stock. Also at the same time, we can make decision according to the based on the customer interest and any feature of the customer group. So our idea is to build a comprehensive system with several functions as below. The first one is the self-service checkout. We aim to build a user-friendly system with easy checkout process. And the second one is the fast secure payment. We hope to let the customer to finish the payment very soon. And also we hope to let the customer to pay secret in a secure way. The third function is the cloud analysis for customer and goods. So by this function, we can obtain the customer throughput, interest, and the group preference. Also, at the same time, we use the Wi-Fi module to get access to the internet and upload the data. The last step is to visualize all the data we collect. And here is the architecture of our system. And I'm going to pass the time to my group mate for next part.
Okay, so I'm going to talk something about the solution and function part. So for the programming part, we'll attempt to use an object-oriented approach to do the programming, and it makes the modularized system built in a more efficient way. So we will have a customer class and product class for handling the customer and product information, and we also have a cart class for handling the consuming event, and a pair class for utility users. And we have solution for the customer behavior detection. At first, we want to use the ultrasonic sensor to detect the distance changes and to know whether good being taken or not, but we find that it is not stable enough. So we change our mind to the RFID solution. And it records the good taken by tapping card, and it's much more stable. And we have the solution to the payment method. And we create a shopping cart, and customer can take the product RFID tag to add the product in the shopping cart and tap it again to remove it. And the system will display the cart summary, and customer can pay for all the products in the cart at once. And then we have the data analysis and reconcile system solution. We use ThinkSpeak as the cloud storage platform. This platform provides us some analysis features, but most of them are limited by the license type. So we use it to for the cloud storage, and we use MATLAB for further analysis of the data. And we can use the built-in API to fetch data from the ThinkSpeak to MATLAB for further analysis. And the solution to the RFID security issue, basically we handle it by replacing the default key by our custom key. And we believe that the combination of the default key of the key length is that having 2 to the power of 48. So I think it is safe to use it generally. And this is our hardware schematic. And we can say the RFID module communicate with Arduino using the SPI interface, and Wi-Fi module will communicate with an Arduino using the UART interface, and OLED will use the I2C interface to communicate with Arduino module. And we'll let Michael to talk about outcomes.
Okay, here let's talk about the outcomes and performances of our system. Here's a flowchart of our purchase logic. At first, at the beginning, before any nearby customer is detected, a welcome interface will be shown. And soon after a customer nearby is detected, we will switch to an instruction interface to inform the customer what to do. And after that, when a card is present, an RFID card is present, if we detect that it's a customer type RFID card, we will simply display his or her name and card balance and simply go back to the welcome interface, because at this stage there are no products in the shopping cart yet. And differently, if we detect that it's a product card, we enter into a loop where we continuously add product units into our shopping carts, which will be summarized and displayed in a shopping cart interface on the OLED. After that, once a customer card is present again, we can tell that he or she wants to conduct payment, and we detect whether his or her balance is sufficient or not. If it is not sufficient, we will display a warning message telling that the payment has failed, and go back to the shopping cart interface. And if it is indeed sufficient, we will deduct his or her balance in the cart, deem the process to be successful, display the message, and then go back to the welcome interface. And before we actually go back, we record the customer data, which will be later uploaded to the cloud platform, and a LED will be lighted if we're short of stock for any type of any product. Let's see. Now let's see the back-end data storage analysis and visualization of our system. As instructed, we basically use the ThinkSpeak cloud platform to store the data. As you can see, we have 8 data fields in our channel. One is chart, there are price, stock, and of the product, and gender and age of the customers. One issue about the platform is that the platform is only effective when visualizing numeric data. When we encounter string data or anything like that, like as shown in the gender and age fields, we will simply export it to the MATLAB software, whether it's within ThinkSpeak or within a local MATLAB software. And one limitation to the ThinkSpeak MATLAB data visualization is that it has no auto update if you're using free license. That's why we export the data and use a local MATLAB software to visualize the data, because we can effectively leverage a timer class to auto update the data visualization process. And at last, let's see some of the conclusions, highlights about our system. Our system is a system for customers. It's a system with straightforward and flexible payment logic, visual assistant, and payment security. And for proprietor, it's a real-time data. It has real-time data analysis and visualization, and stock monitoring, and dynamic pricing algorithm. Some of the possible improvements that we spot is that we can embed ThinkSpeak data visualization web pages and dashboards, but only that is feasible when we have paid license. And we can also give more comprehensive analysis of the customer data and behavior with more data types collected. And we can also implement cookie-like system, but of course with database to memorize any unpaid shopping carts or past behavior or anything like that. Some of the self-reflection that we've done is that the object-oriented approach helped build the system efficiently and modularize the system and the approach. And we can check, we should check each component and their feasibility before any integration is conducted. And the communication is pivotal and teamwork, and of course, think more about, from the view of the customers instead of the engineers. And the security, first of all, is the priority issue and should be taken care. And here is our teamwork distribution. You can see in detail. And thank you for listening. That's all. 我要把这个关了，然后我去 import，我去上传。
Okay.